Dorothy lived in Kansas. She lived with her dog Toto.
We live on a farm with Uncle Henry and Auntie Em.
Life on the farm could be boring. Dorothy wished for somewhere more exciting. One day, a big storm came. It was a cyclone. The wind howled. It spun round and round.
Toto, let's hide in the cellar. We need to be safe.
The cyclone picked up the house. It spun it high in the air. Dorothy and Toto held on tight. They were very scared. Where were they going? The cyclone carried Dorothy's house far away. It spun and spun. Dorothy and Toto felt dizzy. They closed their eyes tight. Finally, the cyclone stopped. The house landed with a bump.
Toto, let's peek outside.
Everything looked strange. Dorothy and Toto stepped outside. The air was fresh and filled with the scent of blooming flowers. The sun shone brightly, casting a warm glow over everything it touched. The world was bright and colorful, unlike anything Dorothy had ever seen before. The sky was a brilliant shade of blue, and the grass was greener than she could have imagined. There were strange and wonderful plants all around, with flowers in every color of the rainbow. Some plants even seemed to move and sway as if they were alive. Little people were dancing in the distance, their laughter and music filling the air. These were the Munchkins, and they seemed to be celebrating something.
Toto, I've a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. This place is so different, so magical.
Welcome to Oz. You must be Dorothy. I am Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. I've been expecting you.
Glinda told Dorothy to follow the yellow brick road. It was the only way to reach the Emerald City, where the Great Wizard of Oz resided. The yellow brick road would lead her to the Emerald City. The wizard lived there, and he was known to have the power to grant wishes. He could help Dorothy get home. She felt a mix of excitement and determination. This was her chance to find a way back to Kansas.
Come on, Toto, let's start down the road. We have a long journey ahead of us, but I know we can do it together.
They soon met a man made of straw. He was standing in a field, looking quite out of place. He was hanging on a pole, his arms stretched out as if he were trying to fly, but he looked sad and lonely.
What's wrong? Why are you up there all alone?
I wish I had a brain. I've been stuck here for so long, unable to think or move freely. Will you help me find one? I've heard that the Wizard of Oz can grant wishes. Maybe he can give me a brain.
Dorothy agreed. She knew what it felt like to need something desperately, and she wanted to help. The Scarecrow joined them on their journey. Together, they set off down the yellow brick road, each step bringing them closer to their dreams and the mysterious Wizard of Oz. Section 5. The Tin Man joins the journey. In this chapter, we will see how the Tin Man becomes an essential part of Dorothy's adventure. As they walked, they came to a dense and mysterious forest. The trees were tall and the path was winding, making it difficult to see what lay ahead. Suddenly they heard a strange chopping sound echoing through the trees. It was rhythmic and persistent, piquing their curiosity.
What are you doing? Dorothy asked, her eyes wide with surprise and concern.
I'm stuck, came the reply from a figure standing rigidly among the trees. It was the Tin Man, unable to move an inch. I need oil for my joints, he explained, pointing to his rusted and immobile limbs.
Dorothy quickly found an oil can nearby and began to oil the Tin Man's joints. She worked diligently, making sure to cover every creaky part. The Tin Man was very grateful for her help.
I wish I had a heart, the Tin Man said sadly, holding his chest as if he could feel the emptiness inside. Will you help me find one? He asked, his voice filled with hope and longing.
Dorothy agreed without hesitation. She knew that the Tin Man's wish was sincere and that he would be a loyal companion on their journey. The Tin Man joined them, clinking as he walked. His presence added a new dynamic to the group, and together they continued their journey through the forest, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Section 6. The Cowardly Lion. Next, they came to a dark and scary forest. A roar made them jump. A lion leaped in front of them.
Please don't hurt us.
Don't be afraid, I'm just a coward.
A cowardly lion?
Yes, I wish I had courage. Will you help me find some? Dorothy knew they had to help him. The lion joined their group. Section 7. The Yellow Brick Road. Dorothy and her friends followed the Yellow Brick Road. They had many adventures. They helped each other overcome challenges. They learned that friendship is important. They learned to be brave. They discovered that they were stronger together. Section 8. The Wizard of Oz. This is the story of a young girl named Dorothy who, along with her dog Toto, was swept away by a tornado from her home in Kansas to the magical land of Oz. In this strange and wonderful place, she met new friends and embarked on an incredible journey to find her way back home. Finally, after many adventures and overcoming numerous obstacles, they reached the Emerald City. The city was a dazzling sight, with buildings that sparkled like emeralds and streets paved with gold. They were filled with hope and excitement as they approached the grand palace to meet the wizard. The wizard was a very important man, or so everyone believed. He was known to be powerful and wise, capable of granting any wish. Dorothy and her friends had high hopes that he would help them achieve their deepest desires. The wizard listened to their wishes with great interest. Dorothy wanted to return home to Kansas. The Scarecrow wished for a brain. The Tin Man longed for a heart, and the Cowardly Lion desired courage. Each of them believed that the wizard held the key to their happiness. However, instead of granting their wishes immediately, the wizard told them to come back later. He gave them a task to prove their worthiness, asking them to bring him the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West. Dorothy and her friends were sad and disheartened. They had come so far and faced so many challenges only to be given another seemingly impossible task, but they were determined to succeed. Despite their initial disappointment, they held on to hope. They believed that the wizard could help them if they completed the task. They encouraged each other and set out on their new mission with renewed determination, but as they ventured further, doubts began to creep in. The wizard's indifferent attitude made them question his true intentions. Was he really as powerful as he claimed to be, or was he just using them for his own purposes? Their suspicions were confirmed when they finally returned to the Emerald City with the broomstick. The wizard was revealed to be just an ordinary man hiding behind a curtain, using tricks and illusions to maintain his facade of power. He had tricked everyone, including Dorothy and her friends. The great and powerful Wizard of Oz was nothing more than a clever charlatan. This revelation left them feeling betrayed and angry. Dorothy and her friends were angry. They had risked their lives and faced countless dangers, all for a lie. But in their anger, they also found strength. They realized that they didn't need the wizard to achieve their goals. They had learned to be brave and resourceful on their journey. The Scarecrow had shown great intelligence, the Tin Man had demonstrated his capacity for love, and the Lion had proven his courage time and time again. They stood up to the wizard, demanding that he make good on his promises. The wizard, seeing their determination and realizing the error of his ways, decided to help them in any way he could. The wizard realized he was wrong. He apologized for deceiving them and admitted that he had no real magical powers. But he offered to use his knowledge and resources to help them achieve their dreams. He helped Dorothy return home to Kansas by instructing her to use the magical power of her silver shoes. He explained that by clicking her heels together 3 times and saying a special phrase, she would be transported back home. The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion realized they already had what they wanted. The Scarecrow was smart, having come up with clever solutions to their problems throughout their journey. The Tin Man had a good heart, showing compassion and kindness to everyone they met. He had always been capable of love, even without a physical heart. And the Lion was brave. He had faced his fears and protected his friends, proving that courage was not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. Dorothy hugged her friends goodbye. They had become like family to her, and she was grateful for the lessons they had taught her. She knew that their friendship would last a lifetime, even if they were far apart. She knew she would never forget them. The memories of their adventures and the bonds they had formed would stay with her forever. With a tearful smile, she prepared to say the magic words. She clicked her heels together 3 times and said,
"There's no place like home."
And just like that, she was back in Kansas, safe and sound. The familiar sights and sounds of her home filled her with joy. She realized that everything she had been searching for was already within her grasp. The love and support of her family and friends were all she needed to be truly happy.